get good. This is Endless Space 2 Awakening, and we are playing as the Fireborn Guardians of the Galaxy, the Unfallen. I am back with you guys, finally coming off of that cold a little bit. Resilence, I do want to respond to something you pointed out. The reason I've been calling Orachal 6, or Chalix, is because in a lot of the JRPGs and stuff I've played in the past, there is no CI there. There's just Orachalix. So I'll call it Orachal 6 from now on. I can understand that being a little bit of a pet peeve. That being said, I also want to thank Resilence for the reminder that we do need to pass an ecology law here. And I can't remember who it was that pointed this out, but you are an absolute hero. We went back to Cold War with all these other empires when we declared our alliance. So we actually lost all of our peace bonuses, so we're going to force peace with everyone again. Yep, we're peaceful. Does not look like we can do that here. No force peace with the Cravers. I don't care for making you nervous. We're just being peaceful. Relax, buddy. Relax. 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 It was also pointed out to me that the sleepers can still be a thing even if you're allied with the UC, which is unfortunate. However, the good news is we did continue to research our stealth tech, so we may actually leave our alliance, destroy the UC, and then join an alliance with somebody else. That uses the axe of peace as if they were blades. That's exactly what we do, Mr. Hisho. That's exactly what we do. Are you surprised by that? Okay, so now we should have a massive bonus from all of our peace, including our happiness and all that stuff should be great. Still just content here on Gistrid, which is unfortunate, but we are terraforming there, so it should be fine relatively soon. NIHAL is very close to being ready to be invaded here. We do have siege ships doing their thing. We could move some siege ships down here. I know that Anna was pointing out we could divide our forces and siege twice as fast. That may be a thing we do in the future, but I'd honestly rather focus and ensure that we get one system at a time than I would split the forces and not get either because they declare a truce or some other thing that we then have to sort of deal with. I'd rather just get it done. Let's get one system to start with and then we'll move on to the next kind of thing. And we will wait a turn to do that because we do need some more siege damage there. However, we do have our second Vine ship fleet here that is gathering up. We'll have 4 Vine ships there. It's not going to be enough to even make a significant impact. However, what we might be able to do is stair-step them, right? So if we can get our one-turn entangling fleet right here going, and we can get these guys to the next system and it takes them 2 turns, well, they can start here, we can jump this one up here. By the time this fleet lands, they'll be able to do it. Should be good. That being said, we do want to kind of keep an eye out for where the Umbral Choir might be based out of. If this is an econ behemoth, it is not. It's a military behemoth. It does look like there's a stack of behemoths here. One of which is an econ behemoth. So it would seem that the UC's home system is probably one of these 2 right here. And since we know they have to be on a special node, it's more than likely that one. That makes for a very interesting case here because it gives us the opportunity to get rid of them if we want to. Antimatter channeling will allow us to detect them. So what I think we'll do is once we have this, we'll actually go down here and see if we can detect them in this system. If we're able to, we may leave our alliance with them and find a better ally. Also, we do get a speed boost along these vines, which is huge. And they are burning us in Pleone and NIHAL, which is a problem. Honestly, though, if we lose Pleone, it's not the end of the world. It really isn't. Okay. So continuing on, our questioner is here in Takim with some things to scan down. Lifeform, 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 lifeform. That's unfortunate because those have a tendency to yield population, and right now that's not going to do us much good at all because we obviously don't have a good pipeline for that population to get back to our home system. We see a fleet stack here on the UE capital. They've got a couple battleships, or rather a battleship and a cruiser, and then a couple of behemoths. Thankfully, those behemoths do not look like they're military spec'd at all, though, so that's actually a really good thing. I think what we want to do now, and this is another thing Resilence pointed out, is keep an eye out for the systems that are flashing for the quest for the photobomber. Mainly because that may show us where there's some more special nodes that we can kind of poke around at and potentially find good things at. Not any over near this guy, unfortunately. It would have been nice to have him find some so that he could kind of do stuff with that. Otherwise, he's almost stranded out here with not a whole lot to do, because if we send him through these systems, he'll be intercepted by pirates immediately. We send him over here, he's going to get intercepted. So I think he's just going to have to wait there for a little while. Which is fine. I mean, it's not ideal by any stretch of the imagination, but it is something. It'll be okay. Alright. You guys are fine hanging out here. We're just waiting to siege that system for real. Vine ships are gathering there. I think everything is pretty much done. Did we leave this turn just waiting to finish? That could very well be the case. Gonna go check the marketplace real quick to see if there is, in fact, any new governors that we want. There is not. How unfortunate is that? We could always pick up another Seeker hero here, but I don't think that that's necessarily going to be that beneficial right now. I feel like we'd be better off getting more governors, and I don't really want to buy any unfit governors right now when we can just wait. Another thing that was pointed out to me, and this is actually a really, really cool strategy, is if you want to boost the production of your ships, you can just create empty holes and then retrofit them with dust. Considering our excess dust, that may actually be a beneficial way to handle things. So we're going to boost our Unfallen and Harashim population here, even though it's not necessarily beneficial right now. Lobbyists for your first Empire's banks have been assailing your senators for weeks with demands to ease some of the regulations to their operations. Sorry about the background hum, somebody's driving a loud vehicle down the road. In particular, they are requesting looser restrictions on letting ordinary citizens in space travel ventures and on insuring ships heading out for long-distance voyages. They promise increased financial gains for your empire with minimal risk to your financial future. There is a 50% chance of creating a major economic crisis. Let's say no. Let's say no, I would rather not create an economic crisis. That's okay, we're all about that stability right now. We cannot afford instability in any stretch right now while we're trying to declare war on the UE to successful outcome. Latest survey is in, it appears that pacifists are in the lead. More than happy with that outcome. More than happy with that. This is another siege ship, we're going to go ahead and put that there. Very soon, we're going to start actually sieging this system, and when we do, we no longer need... I mean, can we see the manpower of just this fleet? 1.2k manpower, it looks like. So we could send the manpower from these fleets down here to begin sieging now and be just fine. There are two ships right here. It's a patrol ship and a... Oh, we caught a settler, y'all. We caught a settler. This is really, really good for us. We are effective at long range. So we're going to use this so that we don't have to close any shorter than long range, because hopefully we can get enough damage to pop that settler. And we will watch this in cinematic cam as requested by SR... Oh, no we won't. They retreated. To where? Wait, no, that's not... How is... Okay, so they forward retreated to Pleon. Thankfully, we do have a ship there that's going to catch them anyway, so it doesn't matter, but it's one of those things of like, really? They should have had to retreat back to NIHAL, although I guess they could have also retreated to Deneb. I would have been fine with that too, but it's weird that they get to retreat forward. That kind of bugs me. Do we want to go in now? I think we go in here with this fleet, and we may just blitz them here. Now let's do preemptive bombing. Let's do preemptive bombing and just allow it to sort of wear down their manpower, and then we'll blitz them when they get low. We are still sieging them, but the system has been attacked this turn and will not suffer siege damage. Guess we're not, which is fine, because now we will split our forces. Now that we've actually begun the invasion, we'll send our siege ships over to Perseus, see if we can grab that too, and protect all of our vines right here. If we lose Pleon, that's okay. That's not the end of anything for us, we're okay with that. Fireship is ready to intercept that settler that's coming down the line. And then over here, our vine ship should be ready to entangle this system in exactly one turn. We do have another combat fleet right out here. It may actually be beneficial to send them back to Pleon there to intercept more UE ships. I'm not sure why we had them coming out this way. Perhaps it was because we were planning on declaring war on the UC before that. That's okay. We'll just keep them out here to kind of defend our vine ships as they go out. I think that's actually pretty sensible in this case. Considering the luck we've had with people turning on us, I would say that's actually very sensible now that I think on it. There is a Siri in the background talking to me. I have got to close just this iPad before I start streaming or recording because every time it talks like this. Congratulations, we are the first to achieve ITER. Ground battle at NIHAL continues. This time we may want to just blitz, because we can overwhelm them quite a bit here. So let's go for it. Minor victory, they conscripted. Okay, so they're going to keep conscripting. That's totally their prerogative, but we're just going to keep on hitting them hard at this point because we have such a numbers advantage. Nakos and Gistrid have both gained population. Nakos is capped out though, which is problematic. Pi has reached level 11. What can we give you now, Pi? What can you take that will be extremely useful to us? Pi is in Sylphie, which means that a happiness bonus isn't going to do a whole lot. On the other hand, some additional science could be useful. We're going to go for that. Okay, so Pi is finished. Now that we've built Iter on Sylphie, we can potentially consider some other things, like we could go back to making more siege ships, which isn't a terrible idea, but at some point we are going to stop being at war, so I'm not sure it's the right idea. It may be better to start terraforming things, or just kind of let the things that are in queue finish, which I think is what we're going to do here. Rare Earth Foams is done, we can now colonize Mediterraneans. That should allow us to grab planets here on Herolium, which is what we were after. And then antimatter channeling here is finished, which means we have access to enhanced anti-cloaking. I think what we'll do is we'll take this ship right here, and we're going to send it down here to Libra, where it'll be technically within our space, and we'll retrofit it to have anti-cloaking, and then send it down here to try and discover the Umbrequire's home location. Once we have the home location of the Umbrequire, we can consider breaking our alliance with them so that we can take them out, and then potentially allying with somebody else instead. The settler will be landing before the patrol ship here, and we are absolutely going to go at it 100%. If we're really fortunate, it'll retreat again down here to our behemoth, which will wait to kill it. That would be excellent. Be very, very happy with that outcome. Siege ships are doing their work here on Perseus. They are taking away about 212 manpower per turn. That's pretty massive. That is pretty massive. I'm very happy with that. Hacking operations are left unassigned. Okay, did our hacking operation to Altair get traced? No. What happened to it? Because it's just gone. It must have gotten traced because we must have gone through Perseus. I thought it would take them way more turns to get back, though. How did that... What? That's really weird that that just kind of ended. Like, we didn't get any notification about it unless I missed it or it was last episode. But I'm not sure how they would have traced us so quickly. Like, it takes 7 turns to get across here, and it hasn't been enough turns for them to, like, flat out trace it, so I don't know. I don't know, that seems really odd to me that they were able to get it that quickly. On the other hand, I guess it's okay. What we'll do is we'll jump here to Perseus and then over here to Tylus. Let's just see if we can get more backdoors on their systems at this point. Getting a backdoor on Tylus is actually really nice. We may even actually convert to a sleeper just so we can see what's going on in that system. Quick scanning here is not going to get a whole lot out of it. However, this is another ship we can take down here and retrofit to have anti-cloaking to help us find the home system of the UC. I wonder if they're going to realize, like, that's a bigger question. Are the UC going to be like, it's really funny that you've started anti-cloaking everything? I don't know if the AI is going to be smart enough to catch on to that or not, but if they are, that'll be very entertaining. Another pseudo-mini war of sorts with them, potentially, if they realize that we're trying to find them so that we can eliminate them. They don't need to know, though. They don't need to know. Nobody tell them, okay? Here we are going to blockade. I don't know why that wasn't blockading already. Very interesting. Here we are blockading already. We could invade, but they have the manpower advantage. God, the conscription is such an annoying thing. Did I forget to switch to an ecologist law? I think I did. Hopefully they stay in. Oh, I can't believe I forgot that. We went to look at it and didn't change it. Okay, they stayed in. They stayed in. My bad, guys. My bad. I remembered that we weren't at peace with everyone. We went and did that. I'm going to put on the ecologist law instead now, and that should have us all set up. Oh, Chapter 4, Eye of the Storm. Chloris and Igris apparently share an opinion on rebellions and uncontrolled assets. As your scientific discoveries boost the deeper insights of the Academy, there is agreement that a wider variety of experiences coming from unusual, eclectic sources can only help their cause. Build 3 science improvements. We have completed that objective. We get the Academy of Finance and Investment, which is an Empire improvement that produces plus 2% dust on Empire per assimilated minor faction. Considering we only have 1 assimilated minor faction, not super advantageous for us, really. Part of the troubles plaguing the Academy are a result of its structure. It has two primary centers of study or education. They often compete for resources and attention. One of them is involved in the historical study of the lost and endless ruins, and their technological analysis. The other is the public face, because this first core purpose is voluntarily kept hidden from outsiders. This second domain includes the perception of hero candidates, their filtering based on their potential, their training and education, and eventually, the vast galaxy-wide service business of renting out their skills to interested organizations. Isyander's deepening interest in the first center has left the second with less oversight and control than is needed. There is disaffection within the Academy and within your systems. Maintain your prestige. This is super easy. Maintaining influence is not going to be a problem for us. Ground battle at NIHAL. This should absolutely finish. We can actually watch this one. I think that's entertaining. We'll watch this one real quick. If there's a cinematic cam, we'll use it just for you, SR. God, it's just gorgeous looking at the 3D holo display. I don't use this very often, and that's just because, like, ground battles are frustrating and repetitive sometimes. But in this case, I think it's nice just to take a look, especially since we're shredding them. I love it. Come on, guys. Finish them off. All they've got left is this one tank unit. Minor victory. How is that minor? We completely overwhelmed them. How is that minor? Oh, okay. Somehow we won the first part of the photobomber quest and got the cleaver module, which is a beam weapon that does crew killed per hit. Interesting. So the upside to that is now we have projectile weapons that do crew per hit, and we have beam weapons that do crew per hit, and they are almost out of manpower on this system, even with conscription. We should be able to take that next turn. Alliance update. Chorus of Alliance Sentients, the Nakalim and Sophones have created another alliance, and they have invited the Vaulters in. Well, that's not good. That's actually kind of terrifying. That is a huge alliance for very early on in the game, and it leaves us in a position where we may want to ally with potentially the Hisho here, but I don't know if they'll be interested in joining our alliance, and there's not really a good way, I think, for us to break this alliance up and convince one of them to join us instead. So now we are stuck with the Umbral Choir in a way. It's almost like it was a big mistake to ally with them. Fortunately, that may not be the case, though. Having them on our side is not inherently a bad thing. There may be stronger allies, it doesn't mean that they're terrible allies. It does mean that we should definitely be looking at allying with the Hisho as well here very, very soon, because otherwise we're going to be in a 2 versus 3 potential fight. I don't like that. How'd you guys like an alliance? Huh? You interested? Not really. Okay, well, we'll wait until the alliance that does exist is crushing you and you need our help. Then we'll ally with you, since that's how you want to be. Okay, we should have a manpower advantage here if we want to invade. Can invade system while enemy fleets defend it. Destroy the enemy fleets. Buy civilian ship. Now we can invade. We do have the manpower advantage. I'm going to just wait there, though, because there's really no reason to force it until we have an even bigger manpower advantage. And here, we're going to try to finish off this patrol ship and potentially the settler that's coming through with it. This fire ship right here is geared out for long-range missiles, so we're going to go ahead and do this. They're going to retreat, so we're probably not going to get to see anything here, but if we did, I would do cinematic view. Yeah, we're not going to get to see anything there, unfortunately. We do get to kill this civilian transport ship for 900 dust, which is lovely. Okay. Things are going interestingly. Is that a pirate fleet? It is a pirate fleet, just hanging out in Indusa like sup. We've got 2 more Vine ships here. They will be at risk if they move through Indusa, though, which is not something we want. I think what we'll do is we'll see if we can take them up. Like, if we choose their pathing, yeah, we're gonna go up here, because if we just path to here, they go straight through Indusa, which isn't good. Now we want to path to... Oh, that's what they're gonna do no matter what, unless we go like that. Or like that? No, let's go like this and direct travel to IC, and then we can move up to Libra there. There is a risk here to our behemoth, but I do not think... Yeah, no, there isn't. There isn't. I was wrong. I was just making sure that there wasn't a risk to our behemoth there, because there was potential for there to be one. Okay, fleet's here to protect our Vine ships just fine. They have probably already entwined here. They have time to move forward. They're just entwining everything in this branch very quickly now. So we should have access... Oh, they took Pardalis. Really? The Vaulters took Pardalis before we could get there. That is super annoying. However, we can get to Nair potentially before they do, and then ESO. ESO is an absolutely gorgeous system. We want that more than anything right now. That would be great. Herolium is a system that we had talked about colonizing, and we're probably going to do that. Best opportunity is probably here on this tiny Mediterranean, although it does not give us a lot of room to grow. That's okay. We'll start there. Okay, so now that we have colonized this system, it's time to sort of build out our different things here. We do have access to a strategic resource, which means that Interplanetary will have a nice boost right from the get-go. We obviously want to start by level 2ing the system so that we can start sending population back and forth. After that, we're going to want to colonize. I do think we're going to dump some dust into finishing these improvements right away. And all that's going to do is help this system jumpstart a little bit and get it sort of out the door building things a lot quicker, which should allow it to catch up to our other systems relatively quickly. The other thing that's really nice here is that we can now begin to move population, and it looks like some of our free population that was hanging out at Gistrid is no longer there, and I don't know if that's because they're immediately moving out that way or what, but we used to have a couple of ships just hanging out here, and now we don't. I don't know if they went over to Nakos here. I thought Nakos was colonizing this last planet already. They should be, so we're going to have them do that. Okay, that should all be good. Was that a gas giant? I think that was a gas giant, isn't it? Yeah, it's a gas giant. So they weren't colonizing that yet because we didn't have it. I think Gistrid recently colonized their Arctic, and that might be where that extra population went. It does look like that is the case. So what we'll want to do here is if Gistrid has excess population, which it doesn't seem like it necessarily does, we can send that pop over to Herolium here, and provided it reaches Herolium safely, we can go ahead and diversify the population types that are in Herolium. So right now there's a Calgaros in there. How many Basrixos on this system? Enough to send one. And then we have one Pulsos, two Pulsos. Let's send another Pulsos. There we go. So that should give us 4 different population types in Herolium when they land there, which is going to be beneficial to us for many reasons. Primarily because we get bonuses from that science improvement that are based on the number of different pops we have. Munchie Madness is not ours. That is the ecologist law thing, though. Did we actually pass an eco law? We did not. I talked about it a second time, and then we didn't do it, guys. That's terrible. Okay. Cool Copies here is actually kind of excellent, although this is probably a little bit better for us right now. So let's go ahead and go with Green Fertility Bill. Cool Copies would be great for reducing the luxury cost of boosting populations, but that hasn't really been an issue for us anyway. Now we just have to wait 5 turns for that since I finally got to it. And as far as our faction quest goes, I think we're done? Yeah, I mean, I know Resilence, you said to check out the faction quest, but I'm reasonably sure we are done with the faction quest. Yeah, final chapter, Head and Heart. We've completed that, so we got Fire Forming, which allows us to turn stuff directly into Forest, which is awesome. Going directly to Forest is a huge, huge advantage. It will allow us to much easier convert all of our systems to being able to take advantage of the Super Biofuel Factory, which is something we are on our way to getting, I believe. Yeah, we're on our way to getting it. It's going to take us a hot second because we do need to unlock the outer area of the diplomatic tree or whatnot. Hostile trace detected. Okay, so they are already tracing us in Perseus, which means this hack is probably going to fail. Yeah, it's probably going to fail. Unless we end the hack, it's more than likely going to fail. And we are tracing an operation to Nakos here, so I think what we'll do is we'll have to end this. We are going to incur a penalty. There isn't a better option. As the fame and power of your empire grows, the squabbling heroes take a step back and reconsider their choices. Do they wish to start their own empires, or would they prefer to explore, study, and test themselves against the forces of history? Agreements are reached, memorandums are signed, and the life of the Academy begins to return to normal. The problem has not gone away, but for the moment it has receded. The Academy leaders are grateful, even impressed, and that is no small feat. So now we have Stellar Strikecraft, which is an empire improvement. It gives us plus 20% air damage on Empire, minus 20% air manpower cost on Empire. Interesting. Does that mean that using aircrafts in ground invasions is actually more efficient now? Because normally that's very inefficient since the starting troops can destroy those aircrafts very easily. Like, they have a bonus against them. It's a paper, rock, scissors system. But I wonder with that additional 20% damage and lower manpower cost if it's not actually more effective now. This should be it right here. I think this is where we take this system. Come on, guys. Eat them alive, my treants. Well, I mean, I guess blast them to death with your laser beams. Are they still alive there? Ooh, that tank is artillery style in it. Minor victory. Battle may continue next turn. Oh my... Conscription is stupid. Conscription is very stupid. Like, we should, if we can end this invasion after the next one, we're just gonna end it until we can drain their manpower to 0, because otherwise we're just gonna sit here shooting forever, because they don't actually lose manpower, they just keep conscripting. The only other thing we could do is we could hack NIHAL and try to force them to pick a bad tactic. That's actually a decent option. We keep getting detected in Perseus, which is problematic. Let's do that. I'm just gonna go for it, like, we really don't have a better option than that. If we place an accelerator in Perseus, we can. Hopefully that'll speed that hack along its way and allow us to actually force them to not conscript, because that is basically a super OP defense strategy. If there's one thing about this game that I would like to see changed, it's the ability to conscript every single turn in a row. Like, it's just ridiculous. It turns that sieging process into such a drag. More food or more influence. I'm going to take more influence here for right now. Doesn't seem beneficial to take more food when we're basically pop-capped all the time. Okay, terraforming is happening here, which is lovely. We do have the ability to get antimatter now, so building expanded mines in Miners Union does make sense at this point. They're ecstatic here, so optics research makes sense. AI labor is a priority, not something sensible, just a flat-out priority. We're going to move that to the top of the queue, and we're actually going to put that in queue everywhere. AI labor is going to the top of the queue in every one of our systems. It simply is that important. Herolium being a new system can still bust it out in 3 turns after all the improvements we made, which is awesome. There we go. That's lovely. That's lovely. Getting that out is going to vastly increase our production capabilities, and we now have advanced system upgrades, so level 3 upgrades are available. Maximize exploitation is finished, and we are working on neurorobotics now. Neutron Star is owned. That's going to give us a little bit of extra influence in science. I like how it says per population, even though, like, there's no actual population on those special nodes. I don't know how that works. I'm not sure if it uses population from nearby systems or what, but I am guessing that that doesn't really do a whole lot for you unless you're the choir. Okay, so here we have a couple more turns before they're at manpower 0, which we're going to wait for, because as we've seen, if we don't wait for manpower 0, it's basically just super ineffective. These guys are kind of unnecessary at this point, but we'll send them up here anyway, just in case the Vaulters decide to get a little fresh with us. We want to have some defenders up there to take care of that. And then let's get this Vine ship up here. We can get these fleeted up and then up here vining Bellatrix. I think that's a good idea. Paciphitic conversion is going to be a very interesting thing for us in this game. The reason being that, like, I don't know if it's actually going to work. I feel like every time we try that, they're just going to declare war on us, and it's effectively not going to do anything, which is somewhat unfortunate. We did run out of red saying there, so I'm going to go buy a little bit. We'll just buy 10. That's probably more than we even need, but at this point, I don't really care. Population screen, there we go. We have plenty of dust. Dust is not an issue. Diplomatic relation changed with the Chorus of Alliance Sentience. See? Yeah, there we go. And we're at war now. Lovely. Ground final battle at NIHAL. Let's blitz it. We're not going to watch this one. Decisive victory. Okay, so NIHAL has fallen. We are at war with the Alliance now. I'm very glad that you let us know 3 times. Oh, and of course. What? Okay, cool. The He-Show joined us. The He-Show joined us. That's fine. Can't you see we're busy dealing with another front? War with you at this time just isn't convenient. We'll deal with you later.
There is nothing about this situation.
Wait. They went to war with the He-Show, and the Umbral Choir brought us in. This is so weak. We got dragged into a war we didn't want. So we can raise this system to the ground. You will gain control of NIHAL if we occupy it. Show me the system. No. No, I have no interest in occupying this system. If we pillage it, your military fleets orbiting the system will lose all remaining movement points. System's manpower will be reset. Nope, raise it to the ground. I want it gone. Burn it down. I don't know why the Cravers want a bureaucratic imbroglio against us. That's kind of beyond me. In theory, that should protect our vines. Oh boy. Okay, so we have two different fleets here to contest. One of them is the UC fleet. This should be relatively easy. We're going to use the tactic that makes the most sense for us here, which could be... yeah, no. I'm reasonably sure that because they are at shorter range, we're going to want this. There we go. And this one we'll watch. They may fight, they may not. Yeah, they're not going to fight, they're just going to run. Okay, that's fine. Defend this system to ensure that nobody gets in here and starts colonizing or settling or anything other than that that's going to be annoying. What is this? This is a patrol ship. It is a dead patrol ship. This is not going to get away. They're not even going to get a chance to run here. They're just going to die. Bye. Oh my. Are you actually going to play this out? Okay, so they're actually going to play this out. You get your cinematic view, SR. Here we go. We're going to jump straight to the action, though. Here is cinematic view, and I think it's... there we go, Shift F10. I'll give you cinematic view without UI, even. Is it over already? Oh, it is. There you go, cinematic view without UI. They're dead in the background. We have succeeded. Okay, so we got a decisive victory there, no problemo. 50% of the galaxy is explored. Finish that event. Finish that event. So the happiness costing events are ending right now, which is lovely because it means they're not going to keep hurting us. Unfallen population continues to rise. And our Lumeris governor has leveled up one more time. Let's give him some more science. That's just fine there. Yeah, labor is finishing in multiple systems, which is great. And we are on our way to liquid composites, which will give us our carrier. Which is nice, because I don't think anybody else is fielding carriers yet, which means we should be fielding larger ships than the majority of our enemies relatively soon. Yeah, this is just an aspirant here. The fact that we're now at war with this massive alliance, though, is a bit of a problem for us. We offer you truce. There is no way they'll agree to a truce. We got pulled into this war because of the Hisho. It's reasonable to assume that if we were to leave our alliance, we could actually join... well, not join, but I mean, we could leave our alliance and be like, nah, I'm good, I don't want to be in this war anymore. We do have war pressure with the UE. We could ask for peace there so that we can focus on this other war. God, this is so weak. We basically got pulled into this, and I don't think it even gave us a chance to exit the alliance before we got dragged in, which is kind of annoying. We did want an alliance with the Hisho a turn ago, but that was before the war came. Now that it came, it's like, I don't know if I want to be on the wrong end of this war. One thing we can do is let's turn on our vision for war pings and see if there's somewhere where we can help them out. There is. They have attack targets, they have defense targets. What I'd like to do here... ooh, okay, so Vaulters are problematic here because they are on Pardalis. Interesting. Interesting. Important, vital, okay, so this is really bad because we have our Vine ships here. We have a defense fleet for our Vine ships. I guess we have to keep this here, but if we want to, we can now militarize and go help our allies. I think one of the things we're going to do real quick is we're going to create our crew damage ships. And for that, what I want is the Fire class. We're going to look at our special modules here and look for the ones that do crew damage. Are they not even listed? Oh, there it is, Heart's Hammer. Okay, so Heart's Hammer is very much in line with the Cleaver. It is a weaker, nope, not weaker, slightly higher damage but less crew damage version of the Cleaver. So we're going to go like this. We're going to put a couple of Heart's Hammers here. Those are going to be beamed so we can hit from long range, which is nice. They are going to do slightly less damage because we're hitting from long range, but they're going to do crew damage, which basically applies a debuff. So we can take advantage of that debuff to then use... The biggest problem with these mediums, by the way, is that they only have either 2 weapon slots and then 2 engines or 1 engine and 3 weapon slots. The engines here are the biggest problem. Normally I like to go double engine. In this case we can do that, but it's going to mean that we only have 2 of these. That's kind of okay, because what we're going to call this is pirate cruiser. This is our pirate cruiser ship here. Ooh, the cold was kicking up. I was about to sneeze there, but I stopped it. So we have a pirate cruiser, and then we need a... Okay, I lied. I didn't stop it. We need a pirate boarder. And that pirate boarder is going to be a light class ship here. The catch-22 to this is we're going to have 2 of our engines. We're also going to have a boarding pod. And then in our free slot, we can kind of go a different way with it. I'm not sure what we want to do there, though. We could go with missiles. I was told that boarding pods require swarm missiles to protect them, so we're going to actually do that now that I think about it. And then defense-wise, we're going to go defenses, defenses. Defenses is actually funny because our assault ship has better defenses than our coordinator, which is really weird. Not exactly sure how I feel about this ship layout, to be honest. Improved Flotilla Shield is an interesting module we could potentially put on. It is going to cost us some antimatter, but we are bringing in reasonable amounts of that, I think. We could also go with an anti-cloaker here, which isn't a terrible idea. Titanium Shrapnel increases flotilla crew destruction. Okay, so that's actually a really good option for this ship. We're gonna go with that. We're gonna try that with our pirate boarder. And now the idea is we can kind of print out these fleets and they should be able to capture enemy ships, and then we can sell those ships for even more resources. And actually, now that I think about it... Oh, okay, so let's try this. We're gonna try this. We're gonna call this the Pirate Cruiser, so the PC. This is something that was suggested in the comments. I can't remember exactly who mentioned this. Pirate Boarder. But the idea is if we just build the empty ships, they build faster, and then we can use the dust to retrofit them. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna try that out. In order for that to work, we do need a system where we want to be producing those things. Wow, terraforming takes way too long. So what we're gonna do here is actually use this system to produce those ships, I think. Predictive Logistics is going to go to the top of the queue here. Predictive Logistics should be at the top of the queue pretty much everywhere. We may actually use our home system as our system to produce things in, because it will be a lot faster. Yeah, it looks like that's the only option we really have. We can colonize Libra now. It is all gas planets, though, so we're going to deal with some unhappiness there by doing so. Still, it seems like a good idea because we're kind of behind right now. I think that's okay. We are going to struggle for food here in a very big way. Fortunately, our population generates additional food. I think we can make this work. We're going to do that. We're going to go for it. We'll colonize Libra 1 here so that we have a ton of production to open with. We will build food as one of our first improvements here so that it is able to self-sustain to some degree. And then we'll put all of our production stuff in queue. We will buy out the cheaper production stuff, because it makes sense. We'll also buy out drone networks, because that'll give us a little bit of a food boost here. Okay, that should be a good start for Libra as a system. And then Sylphie over here, we are going to start to build those PC and PB ships. So if we build a PC, just an empty pirate cruiser, we're looking at 2 turns. It costs 2 turns to build it fully equipped, too. Okay, so let's try this then. If we go for a second PC here, still 2 turns, so we can build 2 of those in 2 turns. Now, if we build a fully fitted pirate cruiser, then we can only build, I'm assuming, 1 per turn. Yeah, we can only build 1 per turn that way. So this does allow us to get ships out faster, essentially. So what we're gonna do is do probably like 5 of these, and then 3 of our empty boarders, and then we'll go ahead and retrofit those after the fact. Lovely. Let's give that a try, see how that works out for us, and we will check in on that next episode. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to go ahead and give us a like or subscribe to the channel, and we will see you next time. Bye!